What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and guess what? Late last night, the official reveal trailer for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare went live. So originally this thing wasn't supposed to go up until Sunday, but then it was leaked by a couple of different websites and Activision decided to put it up anyway. So I wanted to bring you guys a breakdown video because there's a ton of information in this trailer if you look closely. I wanted to break it down with you guys, talk about it with you guys, because this game looks absolutely amazing. So without further ado, let's hop straight into it. So first and foremost, one of the biggest things we get from this trailer is in the first like 2 or 3 seconds, and that's this screen right here saying that the gameplay was recorded on the Xbox One. So this means two things. Number one of which, the video you're going to see in this trailer is actual gameplay video. This is the same gameplay and the same kind of quality that you're going to see on your console later this year. You know, it's not like a pre-recorded, computer-generated image, you know, type thing that a lot of different games do, and they're kind of like teaser trailers. No, this is actual gameplay, so that's a good thing because it looks gorgeous. Now, the second thing this means is not quite as exciting. I'm sorry for you PlayStation players, but because, you know, it's Xbox One gameplay and it's clearly marked as that, I'm pretty sure that means that the Xbox and Activision contract is still in effect, and we will probably still see the DLC come out a month early on Xbox Live over the next year. So that stinks, but you know, there's nothing really we can do. So anyway, moving on to the actual gameplay trailer, we've got a lot to talk about here, so listen up, guys. One of the first things we see is this enormous exoskeleton suit. So exoskeleton suits play a big role in this game. You'll see them on pretty much all of the soldiers throughout this trailer, so make sure you guys pay attention. But most of them are a lot smaller. They're a lot skinnier, a lot leaner, a lot easier to move in. This one is like a big behemoth one. Like, this looks like an Iron Man villain or something like that. So this guy looks super badass, and he looks like a really bad guy. So we're gonna have to watch out for him. Next up, we get to see some bi-rotor choppers. You guys will see a lot of these throughout the trailer. And then boom, we've got our main protagonist or hero, or at least one of them. We've seen this guy before. You guys remember that very first image we got of this game? He was the guy that was down in the background in like the corner. He's got the beanie on, things like that. So I think this guy's going to play a big role in the campaign. As you can see, he's got a big badass handgun strapped to his stomach. It looks almost like a deagle, but it's definitely a lot more futuristic. He's got a Black Ops 2 kind of styled electronic tablet on his little shoulder strap, so that kind of, you know, goes along with the future theme. And then also Atlas is in, you know, big bold letters across his little tactical vest. So I'm not sure what Atlas is. I tried to Google search it. I didn't know if it was like a private military company or something like that. I didn't really come up with much. So if you guys have any idea what that could mean, feel free to leave it down in the comments. I'm sure it has something to do with the campaign, maybe the faction he's fighting for or something like that. But anyway, next up, oh my god, that helicopter just went all David Copperfield on us, man. It just went totally invisible. How crazy is that? That's absolutely epic. That's going to make for some awesome campaign missions. And what if that was a multiplayer kill streak? What if you could call it an invisible attack chopper that shot at enemies? I would love that when I earned it, but it'd be absolutely infuriating when going up against it. But anyway, moving on. Hello, Kevin Spacey. You guys may know him if you watch House of Cards or, you know, any other, you know, he's been in a lot of TV shows and movies and things like that. He's going to be the major bad guy in this story. He's the main antagonist of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So look at that face and learn to hate it because he hates you. Now, next up, we got the Sledgehammer title screen, and then shortly after that, we see what I'm talking about. Here's a crouching soldier, but he's got a really skinny exoskeleton suit on that's kind of like going up his back and over his shoulders, down his arms, kind of down his legs a little bit, things like that. I'm interested to see, you know, what the point of these things are. What are they going to allow these soldiers to do that they couldn't do normally? What's the point of wearing these suits? I'm sure we'll find out very soon. Now, next up, we get to see the other main protagonist or main good guy of the game. He was also in that original image, and he's got this badass, like, self-retracting Iron Man helmet or something like this. Like, this thing is really cool. We see it a little bit more throughout the trailer. Right here, look at this. New melee confirmed for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, the bitch slap. Look at this. This guy comes through the doorway and he just straight up backhands him off the scaffolding. I literally burst out laughing when I watched that. That would be so funny if that was a new melee. I'm just kidding, by the way, guys. There's no way that would be real. But that's just, I found that really hilarious. Hope you guys liked it too. But Anyway, next up, we're going to see another soldier with an exoskeleton, and again, I don't really know the purpose of these things, but I'm sure we'll find out soon. Right here, check out all the whips in this game. Like, this is just kind of cool to see, this game is being developed for next gen first, so like the little things really make a difference, but you can see there are like sports cars and taxis and luxury cars and tiny little smart cars and things like that, and there's just a lot more detail going into it. Granted, this is a single player scene, and it may be different for multiplayer. I think it'd be pretty cool to see a lot of different variety in the maps and things like that in multiplayer with this next game, and that's the kind of thing they can do with the next gen hardware. Now, next up, this guy right here definitely just rocket propelled jumped into the air. Like, this guy, there's no way that was like, self-made. That was some sort of exoskeleton rocket jump or something like that. And we actually see it a few more times throughout the trailer. So I think there's going to be some kind of like almost Titanfall-esque type movements and different mechanics in this game that we haven't seen before in Call of Duty, which is kind of exciting. So we can look forward to that. Now, right here we see a virtual skyline. I was trying to figure out what city this was. I can't figure it out. I don't think it's any of the big American cities. I would recognize if it's like LA or New York or something like that. Maybe it's a foreign big city. If any of you guys know it, feel free to leave it down in the comments. I'd be interested to see where this game is planning on taking place. Next up, hold on. Doesn't this look exactly like Howie Mandel, the dude from Deal or No Deal or America's Got Talent? Like, he's got the same facial hair, like literally the exact same thing, and then he's bald up top. I thought that was kind of funny. Next up, we get to see more action from the Iron Man helmets, except this one has really cool optics on it, and this really kind of like opens up the multiplayer personalization world. Like, what if changing the different kind of like facials on your helmet helped you out in different ways? What if one was night vision goggles? What if one was thermal goggles? What if one was allowing you to see through smoke? What if one did this and that? And you got to customize the way that your face looked, but then it also actually had like a gameplay effect on you in multiplayer. I thought that would be pretty cool. It's just an idea I had off the top of my head. It's not guaranteed or anything like that, but I'm just spitballing ideas here. Now, next up, we get to see more of the rocket propelled jumps. So again, I think there's going to be some sort of, free running, super jumping going on in this game. Moving on a bit, we get the first look behind the wheel of a weapon, behind the gun. And it's really, really cool. Like, this looks like some sort of SMG, probably an SMG, maybe an AR. But if you look at the sights, it's like a double holographic sight. Like, it's got like two virtual sights in it, which looks really, really weird. I don't know what's going on there, but again, it's super futuristic. Next up, we've got epic futuristic motorcycles. This thing looks like something that Batman would be driving. This thing's super badass. And then shortly after that, we get to see that invisibility is not only for helicopters, but people can do it too. So, yeah, soldiers can turn invisible in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, although I doubt this is going to make its way into multiplayer. I bet it's a single player only thing, kind of like it was in Black Ops 2. Now, next up, holy crap, what kind of grenade is this? It looks like it's scanning the area, and yes, that's exactly what it's doing. You can see here, it actually scanned these enemies through walls, and now you can see them through physical objects. This looks like it's going to be something that's going to be prevalent in single player. I don't know if it'll make it into multiplayer. If it does, it'll probably be a lot weaker. Don't worry about that, guys. Now, next up, we've got some free running, some ripping people out of moving buses going down the highway, which is really badass. And then, bam, is that the Golden Gate Bridge? Why, yes, I think it is, and it looks like it's getting destroyed. So it looks like America is going to be one of the stops in this game for the campaign. We're going to be fighting on U.S. soil, along with a lot of the other kind of like foreign destinations that we've seen so far in this gameplay trailer. But anyway, moving on. We've got a super huge robo suit with USA flags in the background, like nothing more America than this picture right here. And oh, is it not cool enough for you? Hold up, let me sprout a Gatling gun out of my forearm and start shooting people. This is so crazy. This is something that definitely won't be in the multiplayer, but man, this single player just looks like it's going to be an absolute blast, and there's going to be a lot of craziness and hecticness and chaos going in it, which is exactly what I like. Now, moving on, we got more badassery, all kinds of explosions, bi-rotor drones are attacking, and all kinds of craziness, and then this guy here gets his spidey senses tingled, and he starts climbing up the wall, which is pretty cool. He's got these like weird suction cup futuristic gloves that allow him to climb up that wall. Again, that's one of those things where it's going to be crazy cool in single player, but I doubt it makes its way into multiplayer. Usually most of the single player stuff does not make it into multiplayer in these games because they want to kind of tone tone it down and make it a little bit more balanced, a little bit less crazy. So do not worry about that, guys. I've seen some people talking about on Twitter like we're going to be scaling buildings in multiplayer and stuff like that. No, I highly doubt it. But anyway, moving on. Oh my gosh, that wasn't a motorcycle. It was a flying like jet ski or snowmobile. Like it's literally like a hover motorcycle. How badass is that? And then later in this video, we actually get to see first person footage of it, and it's like shooting weapons and going 85 miles an hour and stuff like that. Like this campaign is going to be absolutely nuts, guys, but it's going to be a ton of fun. So yeah, that's that. Next up, we see some drones you throw into the air, some sort of like portable wall that this guy sets up before the door opens so he can shoot from behind it. That's maybe something that we could have in multiplayer. You know, it's almost kind of like a riot shield type thing. So maybe we'll have portable pieces of cover that we can set up on the maps. I'm not sure. And then finally, it just kind of finishes off in typical Call of Duty fashion with a bunch of explosions, vehicle crashes, the first person of the flying jet skis. There's a walking like spider scorpion tank. There's some naval warfare, and then right at the very end, there's a huge like 20-foot super kick jump to you know, take this guy out and kick him in the face. So yeah, this trailer is absolutely insane. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. I absolutely can't wait for this game, and it's coming out on November 4th. Later this year. It's going to be called Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and man, I can't tell you guys how excited I am. Hopefully we get some multiplayer stuff soon. You know, usually multiplayer follows single player by a couple of weeks, maybe even a month. It just depends. But you know, a lot of this stuff we saw in this trailer probably won't be in multiplayer. You know, don't be freaked out. I see people on Twitter talking about, like I said, you know, the Spidey gloves and the tanks and the, you know, jet ski hovercraft things and all that kind of stuff. That won't be in the multiplayer. It's just going to make the single player a lot more fun. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed the video, please thumbs it up. I went through hell and back to get this video done late last night for you guys, and I really appreciate the support. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my other videos. See you yet. Peace out, guys.